my fellow readers. In this video, I'm going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. I almost feel like, why am I talking about this? But it's more specifically the manga version as opposed to the anime, which, a few months ago, like way back, like almost a year ago, everybody was talking about. And I have seen, and I think it's really good myself. After I saw the anime for it, I wanted to read the manga. I did a huge order like then, and then I waited and waited and waited because they were all sold out. And, you can go back and see the haul when I finally hauled the major chunk of the series. I think it was still volume 8 or 9 at the time. And toward the end of the summer, was it the end of the summer? It was in the summer. Sometime in the summer, I decided to go ahead and give the books a read. So I started the series and I just was like devouring it. One, it was pretty easy because other than volume 0, the rest has been animated and it was pretty faithful to the manga, the anime adaptation. So you can sort of breeze through a lot of the earlier volumes, and then once it gets to that end point, the break in the season, you got to slow down a little bit and pay more attention to what's happening now. And so, yeah, that's what I did. I'm trying to remember. I have like the most recent volumes here in my hand. I believe I definitely have not read this one yet because this just came in. But I can't remember if I got to 11 yet either. So I might have to read these final two. But essentially, Jujutsu Kaisen is a shonen series. It's by, I'm hoping that he says his name Gege Akutami. And it's kind of funny. There's notes in there in the manga that the author will talk about decisions that were made, or even the magic system in the series and how things work. And, sometimes it'll be things like, oh, just keep reading and there'll be a better explanation, or, there will actually be the breakdown of why this works the way it does or how the system works. And I appreciate that. I think it shows that the author is, does have a full thought process and flow. It's not just like, oh, this guy just does cool stuff because we need him to, or plot armor. So the story itself, the main meat of the story focuses on Itadori Yuji, who he's kind of told by his grandfather, which I'm trying to remember now if that was his biological grandfather. But anyway, he's told to help people. And he tries to live that life. And at one point, there are these curses, which are like scary monster type things that are awesome. There are these curses that are out in his school because it just so happens that this club that he's friends with were messing around with stuff that they shouldn't. And the curses were trying to find this cursed item that they were messing around with and gain the power. So they're all attacked, but Yuji goes to help them, and stuff happens, including the fact that he swallows this finger, which was like the cursed item, and becomes possessed by this cursed spirit, Sukuna. And that essentially sets up the whole rest of it. Technically, from eating that finger and becoming possessed and cursed, he should be killed because he shouldn't be able to harness that power. But he does. There's a bunch of stuff that happens, including what appears to be his death. I don't think it's a spoiler to bring up that he doesn't permanently die, because if he did, the series would not continue. This happens very quickly. It appears to one of the Jujutsu, he's technically a student, but people that's going in there to destroy the curses, that he has died. Like they sort of bonded. Like that's weird. And then suddenly it looks like he has died. And I guess in some ways this is good, because then there's this separation so that Yuji can go and train, which is, traditional shonen type stuff. It's like, okay, let's do the training now. And so Yuji does work with the Jujutsu sorcerer Gojo, which here he is. Here he is. Satoru Gojo, which always makes me laugh because we have like a soap dispenser. Anyway, so he ends up working with him to gain more power and control over Sukuna so that he does not have to be executed. However, if it looks like he is losing control or can't be controlled, then they want to kill him off. Not so much Gojo, but the higher ups. So there's this whole interplay there. But essentially they're going to use Yuji in order to find Sukuna's other fingers and eat and house them until that becomes too dangerous, and then they take out Yuji, if I'm remembering all this correctly. But that's sort of like at this point in the background while other stuff happens, because very quickly after that, in that initial training, in order to make sure that Yuji can contain the power and have mastery over that, it then moves to a school where all of the Jujutsu students are training to, be able to battle the curses and have mastery over their powers. And then it becomes more of like a shonen school drama. However, always in the background, there is a larger story that's happening that involves more of why I'm trying to think of more like how to describe it, but whether their current system is the right system, and whether certain events are more like using people instead of valuing that, and is there a way to save more people, and there's just like a whole kind of battle of power. I don't really know how to explain what's currently happening. I'm waiting for it all to unfold. But I've enjoyed the story so far. Like, is it the best of all time? I'm not sure I've read the best of all time. No, but it's very enjoyable, and I really like seeing the different like cursed spirits. I like the drama that is unfolding about like this whole background. I like wondering what Gojo's real intentions are and what he plans to do, because there's some twists and turns happening there that I think is interesting, some interplay. You do get some more background story about characters, and I really like the main group of characters, the core group. I think they're just interesting. I just like them. I like their personalities, and I like how their friendships are developing. Like typical shonen, you do get introduced to more characters, and of course there's the battles and the buildup of more power and what have you. But yeah, I like getting that background too. In later volumes, you get kind of more into the background of Megumi Fushiguro, who I really like his character too. I think he's really cool. But you get more story of like where he came from, like his family in general, and a bit on how that probably has influenced who he is and how he is today. And I like that. I like that full like character development story, and that does happen quite a bit in shonen. You'll get like those back stories, and sometimes it's the episodes that take too long and seem like filler, but I think a lot of times they're very important. So yeah, I think if you're looking for just kind of a solid, fun shonen series to read, and if you have checked out the anime and you enjoyed it, then you should probably give Jujutsu Kaisen a read. I know that I am enjoying it. I didn't know if I would. I was kind of like, oh, I'll try these volumes, and if I don't get invested, I'll just donate them. But I'm kind of invested, and I kind of don't want to get rid of them. So thus far, I'm still getting them, and volume 12 was the latest release of it. And yeah, I'm going to keep reading until there's no more to read. I'm looking forward to the movie. There should be the movie version of the Zero volume, and that volume in and of itself is like a prequel to the whole series. And it did help with bits of the background information, and it's good. So I look forward to the movie version of that. That is it for this video. Until next time, bye.